G'day Finru, how you doing? I hope you had a lovely holiday with your Christmas and everything. And so cheers. Here's to my brewing brothers. So what I've been doing is I've actually got myself an HLT, a hot liquor tank, which I bought off my neighbour for $40. And it's about 35 litres. It's an old school boiler, and yeah, it's going to be good. So I've rigged up another setting, rigged up another thing to do my sparging and everything like that. So I hope you look forward to seeing how that goes. Yeah, so what I've been doing, I had a really good Christmas. Thanks very much for asking. And today I've been listening to a bit of music, some Kalatu, some prog from Kalatu, and just hang on a second. Some Caravan. There's an album from Caravan that I really enjoy, really laid back prog. It's called Cunning Stunts. And this one here, the Kendry Springs Spring Suite, which is really laid back. It's got the Roger Dean artwork, and I love it. So I've just been really cruising and getting over the Christmas fiasco, as it were. I've got a few things coming up in the new year with my home brewing. I've been in touch with a local, a regular subscriber to my channel, and I'm subscribed to his channel too, Skid Baxter, and he's a top musician, and he's a absolute. I've had a look at his homebrew setup, and he's the man. I mean, he's really doing it. Obviously, he's the sort of guy that does everything, really gets stuck in and does everything properly. Because I've seen his brew gear and the way he does it, and he sent me kind enough to send me a recipe for a porter that I will be doing. This will be my next brew up. It's sort of a milk stout porter sort of thing. Hazelnut. I don't know if I'll actually put the hazelnut in mine. He hasn't put it in his, but we'll talk about that. And I can use my favourite yeast, which is USO5. So I've got that coming up. I've been doing an experiment with, I saved some yeast from a Cooper Stout, a 6-pack of Cooper Stout, and it was really bad to start with. It was, in lockdown, my wife got me a 6-pack of Cooper Stout, and because I didn't have anything to do. So what I did was I saved the yeast, and I didn't rinse it. I just kept it in a jar, put it in the fridge. 6 months later, I decided to do something with it, and so what happened was it stunk. It really stunk. So what I did was I decided to just go ahead and do it. So I pitched I made a wort up with some sugar and some water and yeast, nutrient, how it works, and got it going, and it just ponged. But I kept feeding it, and just today, what I've done was I rinsed it through with, this is 2 weeks later, I rinsed it through with some sanitised water, that was boiled water cooled down, and what I smelt was green apple. So that's an odd flavour, but the yeast is really struggling, and I'm not surprised. There's only a tiny little bit of slither of yeast that I had in it. So what I've done was I rinsed it through with this sanitised water, tipped all the crap beer out from the top, and left the yeast in the bottom, and I put the sanitised water through it, gave it a good rinse, and then started adding some sugar to it, and she's kicked off again. So what I'm hoping is I might have to go this 3 or 4 times. I don't know what's going to happen. But the pong, the bad smell's gone. Replaced with green apple, and now I've rinsed that right off, and hopefully I can start to get a decent yeast amount. Let's just see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. I've never done it before. And hopefully at the end of the day I can make some beer out of it. So we'll just see what happens. So I've got a nice APA here. It's got all the. It's quite a mainstream APA. It's quite nice. Obviously filtered and all the rest of it. But I've also got a wee dram, just to see me off the bed, which I'm not far away from. Wee dram of a Glenlivet that my mum gave me for Christmas. So I'm really happy with that. You can hear that music in the background. Kalatu, great album. So also today, so this year I'm going to be trying some different brews. Earlier this year, what I did was, as you know, I was concentrating on my panic attack and my tired bastard, and working on Old Finn, and fantastic. Just sticking with the same brews month after month after month, just tweaking them and looking at what's going on. I've learned so much, and I wouldn't have learnt that if I just went from making a stout to a IPA to a, back and forth. I just wouldn't have learned. And I've been brewing for about probably 15 years, and I've just got so much to learn. It's awesome. It's just really, really good. And the friends I'm making from all around the world is fantastic. So, cheers, take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the new year. Take care.